Hey everybody, thanks so much for watching. Today, a close-up look, kind of an unboxing of an older H&K model, but this is a brand new gun that I believe has recently been discontinued by H&K, and that is their P2000. As of March 2025, it is still listed on the H&K website, but I heard James Williamson in a video with the 1911 Syndicate. James Williamson is the H&K guru, so much so that H&K hired him. They mentioned that this firearm has been discontinued along with the VP9 SK, which is probably replaced by the CC9. But this is a gun that serves a very interesting bridge in H&K's history. We'll talk about that and maybe why it's been discontinued. But this is a new gun I found online at a steeply discounted price. And again, I believe stores are selling excess inventory, as I've seen it baseballed around at about half of the MSRP at several sites online. And if I look at the date code on the bottom of this, I have a CD, which means it was a 2023 production run. So made in Germany, compact firearm, polymer frame, hammer fired. They're chambered in either 9mm or 40 Smith & Wesson. This is a 9mm version. This is a standard compact size or carry size, I believe. They did also make a subcompact, which I have never seen. First things first, I'll lose this band. I'm surprised that I'm putting those on these old guns. And in the box, this standard H&K box, nothing fancy to see there, except I do want to note that it comes with a total of 4 back straps. You have 3 additional back straps in here, including the one and then one on the gun. So a total of 4 back straps. The standard in most places is 3. So that's a pretty cool feature. And one of the reasons this firearm exists, I'll talk about that in just a second. But you probably have a medium on here. There's a small, large, and extra large, I'm assuming, over there to help with your grip and your placement on the trigger. Again, I mentioned these are hammer-fired polymer frame pistols chambered with 9 and 40, and they come with a couple of trigger options: a standard double action, single action, and this is H&K's LEM trigger, so which has a very unique feature. I'll talk about that in just a second. But first, the P2000. I think this one serves as a very interesting bridge in H&K's history because it is a direct descendant of the USP series. The USP Compact 9mm is about the same size firearm, but there was a military contract that called for a similar sized gun, but they wanted ambi controls, and I'm not sure if they want a standard pick rail or not, but this one does have ambi controls where the USP does not. Has the pick rail, and it also has the adjustable back straps. So those are the major differences between the USP series and the P2000. And this gun was used widely by the U.S. government agencies, especially Border Patrol and ICE and people like that. And they got it in the 40, they usually carried it in the 40 Smith & Wesson with the LEM trigger configuration for a consistent trigger pull. Different to get used to. Again, we'll look at that in just a second. I had the option to buy this in 40 or 9. I almost bought it in 40 just because it'd be a true replicant of the Border Patrol gun, but I like to shoot 9mm. I have no 40. So I chose the 9mm version. Looking at the gun itself, again, kind of a walk around. Up top, you've got your standard 3-dot sights. I believe there's also a night sight version, but that sight picture is definitely workable. Again, you have a standard pick rail here where the USP had a HK specific pick rail. Got the name on the front and the caliber. No serrations up front, only in the rear. And you can rack it on your belt if you had to, I think, with the slide there. This slide's pretty clean. Again, one of the benefits of the P2000 was it's fully ambi. You had the slide stop, slide catch on this side and this side. And it had the H&K's awesome paddle mag release. So left-handers and right-handers can eject the magazines down here. Mentioned the standard pick rail. You also had kind of the wraparound here. And then up front, again, not really finger grooves, but there's a small bit of shape there with very nice serrations here on the front. That's very, very grippy. Matches the ones on the back strap. Then you have the different kind of up and down serrations here with the P2000 call out. This grip very much reminds me of the H&K 45 as well. Very similar setup. So that is a quick look at a gun that I think is going to be lost in time because it succeeded the USP compact and was very widely used until the Border Patrol dropped these and went with Glocks. But it was also succeeded by what I think is the best polymer frame hammer-fired gun in the market, and that's the P30. It takes all the great things about the USP and the P2000 and makes them even better. It is also fully ambi, but it is a lot more ergonomic with only 3 back straps available, but also has replaceable side panels. And it is absolutely the best feeling gun that I can put in my hands. So I believe this guy is lost between the OG USP, which H&K still makes and always will, and the new P30 gold standard. I believe that's why this guy probably kind of lost his place in time. A close-up look at the LEM trigger. Again, standard double-action, single-action trigger has a very heavy, let me drop this, double-action pull like this. And then when the gun fires, normally it will cock or rack itself and the hammer stays back. But the LEM does not. It actually moves like that, and that resets again. What that does is gives you a more consistent trigger pull, because what you do is you load the magazine, put one in the chamber like this, and then the gun is loaded and hot, and you don't have the heavy double action pull this time. You have the same light trigger pull that you have whether it's in the first pull or the 10th pull or 12th pull of the firearm. So again, first pull on a double action hammer fired gun is like 12 pounds. It's really hard. Don't ever pull it on purpose. And it fires, and then you have a much softer second shot. This one has the soft second shot every time. The only thing to get used to is that even though it's in single action mode, the hammer, or it's probably actually double action all the time, it just has instead of having a heavy first double action pull and a lighter single action, it is one consistent pull all the time. And if you train with it, I think this is probably the safest way to carry. I think it's a fantastic trigger system that I think only H&K has designed. But when you holster the firearm, put your thumb on the hammer, you're not going to shoot your junk off. The trigger won't pull itself, and if it were to, there is still a ton of play here before the thing will catch and fire again. So I think a fantastic option. As a new shooter for me, I couldn't shoot it at all, and I traded my first H&K that had the LEM trigger, but I've shot them since then. Now that I've learned to shoot better, and I've really enjoyed how they shoot. So I love the LEM trigger. I love the P2000. I'm sad to see it go, but I think I understand why they're letting it go. I'll see if I can do a quick disassembly too while I'm here. This should just push out. You line this notch up, push out the other side. This comes out. And here is the inside of the shiny new 2023 production P2000. H&K's very unique recoil system. God, what a great looking gun inside there. All the machining they have, great looking barrel, cannon grade steel from France. And then inside here you can see the machining, or lack thereof. There's no machine marks in there. So that is a quick walk around of a newly discontinued old gun from H&K that I did not have in my collection until now. I'm happy to get one. If you are an H&K collector, or you are curious about the P2000, you better grab them before they're gone, because pretty soon they're going to be collector's items, and they're going to cost a whole lot more. So scour the internet, take a look around, see if you can find them on sale, and pick up your copy of an awesome gun from H&K. Sorry about that noise. Thanks again for watching. If you haven't yet, please consider liking and subscribing.